Hey everyone, my name's Brian. I'm the owner of this 23 Honda Pilot Trail Sport, and in this video I'm going to show you my experience with installing a Redarc Tow Pro Elite electric trailer brake controller. Now, quick disclaimer, this video is intended for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional automotive advice and does not replace the installation instructions from Redarc. Always consult a qualified mechanic before attempting any modifications to your vehicle. I am not responsible for any damage or injury that may result from following these steps in this video. Please make sure to prioritize safety when working on your car. Now, I'll include links in the description for what I used, but I used the Redarc Tow Pro Elite electric trailer brake controller, and then I also stopped out to my local auto parts store and picked up a set of non-marring trim pullers. Finally, make sure that you go onto the Redarc website and purchase a Tow Pro harness specific to Acuras/Hondas. Again, links in the description. Okay, so the first step in the process, you're going to open up your hood by finding the hood release latch to the left of where your left foot is while driving. Go ahead and give that a pull, and then you'll walk around to the front of the vehicle. You'll release the hood, raise it, make sure to secure it with the little stick here. And then you're going to find your resonator. Your resonator is about right here when it's installed. And these little rubber mounts, there are two of them, secure on these blue posts here and here. This one's black. And all you have to do is just pull strongly upwards, and then this whole thing will either stay connected to the resonator duct here, or it'll come off like this one did. No big deal, it's pretty easy to reinstall. Try your best to keep these rubber mounts installed alongside the resonator versus leaving them on the post, just because it's really hard to get this resonator back onto the rubber mounts while the mounts are still attached to here. The next thing you're going to make sure that you do before you get started is you want to make sure you disconnect the negative terminal of your battery. This is only able to be achieved once you remove the resonator, or you simply move it out of the way. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Now, there is a bolt here in the center of your screen. That is a 10mm bolt. All you need to do is loosen it all the way and then grab the black wire here and just jiggle it off the post and move it aside so it does not contact the terminal while you're working. Okay, at this point you can see that I have the panel partially unmounted. I was able to start by pulling across the width of the knee panel here and then pulling, either using my fingers or using a pry tool, up the left-hand side here. I was able to get a little bit of a gap here by putting my tool, my trim pry tool, into the gap here, and then just giving it a little gentle torque in order to separate that. Now, one of the features of the Pilot is that this panel here that contains the buttons is its own panel, so it is independent of the knee kick panel here. So you will be able to use your trim pry tool to work this panel that I'm grabbing here out independently of the rest, and that will give you access to some of the wiring behind here. In this installation, I used the supplied Redarc switch panel cover that came in the box. So I removed the existing blank cover that came with the Pilot simply by squeezing the back and dropping it out. Just a note regarding the lower knee kick panel, the entire thing is largely held on by panel clips. However, there is a Phillips head screw seen next to the steering wheel column that does need to be loosened. Thankfully, you don't have to loosen the entire right-hand side of the panel because the wiring is on the left. Now that you've got your trim panels down, you'll need to grab the wire that you ordered from Redarc. This is custom to your vehicle. The Tow Pro Elite comes with a universal wiring, this one here, that goes from the unit to the button, but there is a specific harness that you'll need to order from Redarc that matches your vehicle. This skinny side is going to be plugging into the vehicle. This wider end is going to be plugging into the unit. here. Now, unfortunately, Honda made the decision to put the factory brake controller plug-in behind this panel here to the left of the dead pedal. So you're going to have to remove this as well, in addition to pulling this and this. Now, just some additional information, you will find that the clips to remove this panel are underneath this weather stripping. So you'll need to pry it out from underneath the weather stripping, being careful not to tear the inside of the weather stripping. Now, you'll know that you found the right cord because it is wrapped up in orange tape back there. All right, I wasn't able to capture this on camera, but I had to unwrap the orange tape from around this bundle, which contained this gray male and this white female. And you're going to take your gray end of your harness that you purchased from Redarc, you're going to plug it in to the gray that is your factory brake controller. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to take the remaining length of cord and we're going to run it up into this cavity here, where we're going to plug it in to the back of the brake controller here. And we're going to mount that brake controller somewhere sturdy with zip ties back in that cavity so that it doesn't jiggle around per the instructions. After that, we're going to take the length of cord that comes with the Tow Pro Elite kit. We're going to plug the black end into the other side of the brake controller module, and then we're going to plug the white end here into the button that gets supplied with the kit as well, and that's what's going to feed through this dead panel, this dead switch that we removed earlier. I looped the 3 zip ties, one to the right on the right hand side around the post that the airbag is mounted to, not the airbag, not the actual module itself. And to the left, you'll see there's a hole that I've passed 2 zip ties through. That is yet another brace that the airbag is mounted to. Again, not the airbag, making sure not to impede the direction that the airbag deploys, which is downwards. So you'll see that there are 2 zip ties, one going to one of the 2 loops on the left-hand side of the module, and the other going to the other loop on the left-hand side of the module. So 3 total points of contact. It is not jiggling or rattling around at all. So make sure that you tie your zip ties very tightly so that it does not rattle around per the instructions. Okay, after you get the wiring harness connected to the back of the unit, not this bigger one, but the one that goes directly to the button, attached to the back of the unit, you're going to take this cord and you're going to use it to direct it up the kick panel and then feed it up to this empty dead button here. After that, we will loop it up using some zip ties to make it nice and neat so it doesn't get in the way. Certainly not in the way of the airbag, but also so that it just doesn't float around freely inside of this cavity. So again, in this installation, we used the supplied trailer brake switch panel cover given to us by Redarc, and now the plan is to install the trailer brake gain dial to the back of the switch panel, slip it through, connect up the wire to the back of the dial, and then install the clear retaining nut on the front of the switch panel cover, and then also install a little sticker with the tiny little nub at the 12 o'clock position to show the 0 gain position. Now that your retaining nut is in place, you're next going to take the little metal post coming out of the front and turn it entirely counterclockwise. After that, you're going to take your button, install it so that the 0 gain number is at the 12 o'clock position. All right, our button's installed. Our cable is attached to the brake button module itself. We are all tidied up there with a nice loop. And so now the plan is to attach these trim pieces back to where they belong, return the negative battery terminal cable back to the negative battery terminal, and then start it up, and then follow the instructions for calibration. Now that the interior is all buttoned up, we will take our negative cable, reattach it to the terminal, and then tighten down the bolt with our 10mm socket. After your negative battery wiring has been reinstalled back to your terminal, you're next going to take your resonator and then reinstall it back where it came from, making sure to seat those two rubber feet back where they belong, and make sure to reconnect the duct back towards the airbox. Fair warning, whenever you start your pilot back up after having disconnected the negative battery terminal, you are going to get all kinds of warnings from the system telling you that everything has failed and to see a dealership. Don't worry, just take it out for a drive, 5 minutes or so, come back to your driveway, put it back in park, stop it, and then start it again, and then you should see pretty much all of those alarms and alerts go off. Alright guys, that's it. You've now successfully installed a Redarc Tow Pro Elite trailer brake controller. And just a reminder, links are in the description for all the parts that I used in this video. In a future video, I'll be showing you how to install a 7-pin wiring harness onto a current generation Honda Pilot, so make sure to hit subscribe if you're interested in learning more about that. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.